Welcome back, and thank you for sticking with us through the break. When last we saw our heroes, we were meeting them one by one as they were approached by special agents with the FBI who were telling them about a meeting. You might notice that at the moment our windows are slightly off kilter, but that's because we had to get Jemmy worked back into here. So just bear with us, and eventually everyone will be back where they belong. In the meantime, we are going to go to late, about 5 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. And we are at the Magazine Pawn Shop, which is where we see a person browsing through the instruments. Magazine is known for offering unfairly low prices when they buy, but their prices selling are also fairly low. So it's not a terrible place to go to find inexpensive instruments that someone might keep as classroom instruments and loaners to the students. Jemmy, can you tell us a little bit about the person who is browsing through these instruments?
No.
Do it anyway.
All right. Browsing for the instruments is a fairly androgynous looking person. Their hair is fairly long, about down to their shoulders, pulled into a low ponytail. Black hair, brown eyes, and very carefully studying the instruments, although definitely trying to not make it look like it's too obvious. Because they know what is and isn't good quality, and they're not about to make the store realize that.
Okay.
That's all I got for you. I'm tired.
That's fine. So while Micah is browsing through the instruments, they will notice one of their students who is also in the pawn shop looking at things. Want to tell us a little bit about the student?
The student is Freddie. Fairly well dressed, honestly. He doesn't look like anything too fancy, but Micah is more aware with the way that they look over, that this is one of their students who is in love with band, which they're thrilled about. Except for the fact that they're also sitting here going, how do you keep affording all of these instruments? I barely afford all of these. And are pretty sure he is secretly rich. Just a theory, though.
Okay. Are you going to talk to Freddie, or are you just going to notice him standing there and looking through things?
Notice in a little wave. Not gonna force this student into a conversation. But if the student is willing to be seen talking to the teacher.
He looks a little sheepish when he notices you there and kind of stumbles over and goes, Micah, so I was looking at this, and he pulls out a theremin. Um,
They have those here?
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if. I mean, I don't know if you ever had a student who would use it, but it's really cool, and I've never seen one before. But I also have no idea if it's actually worth the $300 that they're asking for it.
Let me look really quick. And I'm gonna study it, because what the heck?
It's actually remarkably good quality. Um,
Yeah, that's worth the 300. I don't think I've really ever seen one of these in a pawn shop. I'm gonna choose to not question where it's from. Um, Definitely worth the 300. Are you interested in playing it?
I mean, it'd be really cool to try. I mean, it's a string instrument with no strings.
I
Um,
mean, I could definitely get some interesting. We could get some interesting sheet music to try in class if we did have one. Hmm. There's a sign of that pondering of like, what if I can get that right? That sheet music.
Oh yeah, the original Star Trek theme song is easily available on Google.
there you go. Um, so he'll go, okay, well, I'm gonna by it, and I'll see you in class on Thursday.
Yeah, see you then. We can get started trying to figure out how to teach you it.
Um, and as Freddie walks away from you,
How am I gonna teach that?
you know how to play one.
Yeah, I just haven't played. Doesn't mean I have easy access to play one.
Yeah. Actually, you've probably got one in your pocket dimension, but
That's a lot of money. Give me a. I'm working on getting one in my pocket dimension.
I mean, your pocket dimension was populated also by the previous muses, so
There. I still don't think any of them had.
well, no. But
But you do have like 4 Stradivariuses, so
right.
I've got as many lyres as you'd ever need.
That too. And as Freddie's walking away, you hear a voice from behind you and it says, "So you typically let your students buy expensive rare instruments?"
Typically, no. Turning around to look at whoever this is.
So standing behind you, there is a mid to late 30s Latina woman wearing a well-fitted suit that still screams government agent. Which I showed her to everyone earlier. Or did I not? I know I showed everyone Miles. I may not have shown everyone Angelique.
I want to see a woman.
I was imagining Miles, but with a clean shave.
All right. I did not show everyone Angelique. Sorry, my bad.
I love her.
There she is.
Okie dokie.
And
Just typically, no. Turning to look and then just. But I've learned it's not something I'm going to be able to stop with him. So best make sure he gets good quality.
I see. And the muse couldn't keep a student from purchasing something if you thought it was a bad idea?
There's a pause and kind of a glance. How can we not talk about that here?
Oh, you don't need to worry about it. No one will remember this conversation.
That's not comforting.
Let me start over. And she will show a badge that shows FBI Special Agent Angelique Dufay.
Mhm.
Can I buy you a cup of coffee?
Sure.
And as you guys walk out of the pawn shop, she'll say, "So, by chance, do you recall a time a few months past where there was an altercation with a lust demon feeding on street musicians?"
Yes.
You worked with Orfeo to banish the lust demon. Do you remember the other people who were there?
What do you mean?
There were a group of agents who were also assisting the two of you in that battle.
I can't say I particularly remember them, but
I represent the same agency that those agents were a part of. We know about your responsibilities. We were hoping that you would be willing to meet with a group of similar individuals later this afternoon, evening, so that we could discuss a relatively serious threat to the city and probably an opportunity to save a great many lives.
You know I wasn't going to refuse the minute you mentioned Muse.
I did. I still thought it would be polite to make it.
Actually appealing and not feel like blackmail.
It's not blackmail.
I can tell. I'd still
We've
be happy
known
to
this
arrive.
secret for years, and we've never revealed it, and we aren't going to now, even if you refuse me.
I'll go.
She will hand you a card that is a card for the bottom of the cup tea room. 7 o'clock tonight. If you could meet there, we can explain everything to all of you at once. There are another 4 individuals who should be there, depending on how you count them.
What do you mean by that?
Your friend Lawrence
Father Lawrence.
and his other friend are 1 or 2 of the people who will be there.
Understood.
All right. Then I will see you this evening.
Okay, apparently I can't leave Twitch chat alone for a second because I don't know what line that was sent at, but just seeing Wiki apparently is sent into the Twitch chat using the kid's mama lady makes me wonder when was that sent?
When I said that can't Muse stop this kid from buying that instrument?
Fun.
All right. So before we go to the bottom of the cup, does anyone have anything that they would be doing between when they were approached by the agents and the meeting?
I'm calling Lawrence Larry. Yes.
Take your pick.
Larry. Gonna remember that one better.
Fair enough.
It'll probably be like Father Lawrence if Micah feels like being formal, but it's Larry.
Dinner party's pinky out in private. Got it. Micah, I'm actually quite glad you called. You're doing well?
Yes. I'm assuming we both had an interesting meeting today?
Well, I was hoping you were calling me just to chat, but it seems like I was mistaken.
I'd be
Yes.
happy to chat, but I do think we have pressing matters too.
Do we know
Just
who these
making
people
sure.
are?
No.
Because for what it's worth, he seemed to already know about my problem. He admitted he wasn't part of the FBI, though he had a badge, so I won't pretend that I'm not worried, but by the same token, if he's willing to play his hand, in the devil you know, right? Do we come by at 6 and pick you up?
Sure.
Just have it in case.
Yes.
In case. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Of course. Still, quite interesting what they said.
Said it was a matter of people's lives and it was doing good. That's at least a start if the intentions are true.
I trust their intent well enough. It's more just confusing since I was approached in the pawn shop and confidently told that no one around me would remember. Which is just a bit concerning.
Unusual, but
I'm not saying we can't trust them, just something I'm
do you remember in the old tales, the Snake of Babylon was trustworthy at the time till they found out he was lying, so honey words. All right. Well, I'll get ready. I'll have everything here done, and I'll see you at 6.
See you then.
And with that, he'll spend a little time arranging everything for tonight, making sure that people are taken care of, letting Josh take his turn at greeting anyone who comes in and being the welcome wagon for the evening. He's a good kid. I trust him. Then we'll go get ready to pick up Micah at 6.
Um, are Orfeo and Dee doing anything to get ready for the meeting, or?
No, Dee's just gonna continue working her shift at the soup kitchen. Orfeo tends to take the night shift.
Fair.
So he's just resting up for what he assumes is going to be a standard night of performances.
Harper?
I'm just going to finish off this gas pack. Try to do a little research through the Dusk House files, whatever I might still have access to. Looking for any trace of this FBI. And yeah, maybe get some sleep, whatever.
I mean, some sleep is probably necessary.
What nonsense.
You know what? Give me an investigation check.
Cool.
No problem with that.
Uh, 15. Not great.
You're able to find in the Dusk House's records that operatives from the house have been openly, brought into situations by law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, but nothing more specific than that. You do know that certain trusted people within law enforcement knew about the house.
And are any of my old assignments marked that way? So I might have an idea of what kind of jobs I specifically was doing for them.
Oh, sure. Mostly simple hunt and kill missions. Mostly involving, they're aware of what your specialty is, so mostly involving demons. Kind of raging all across the American South.
Okay.
A lot of demons there.
And when was the last time one of my files is marked with that?
Actually, the last assignment you did before Dusk House fell.
Cool. I don't know how to feel about the fact that they're the reason I wasn't there.
Yeah.
That's fun. Okay.
Okay. And Daffy.
So she would have been panic stricken after he left
Sure.
and would have just basically been feverishly researching and cleaning up the giant mess that she made.
Right.
She would have
Like
gotten
you
very
do.
little sleep, but woke up early for a class that she had to give that she half-assedly gave, basically did the equivalent to the college version of putting on a movie for the kids to watch kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Putting on a movie for the kids to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like essentially she was just like, here, watch this about robots, and just kind of like shoved it was like iRobot or something, and just like shoved it in the TV and just like let it go. Like was like, whatever, like not paying attention to anyone leaving or anything like that. Was just like, it's fine. Like, because she's just the whole time she's just been researching like his name and anything that she can kind of find, going through video footage of the hallway and like seeing if she can find any sort of indicators of what their real intention is. So she's like really just distracted and not really paying attention and texting her
I
mom
will-
feverishly.
Yeah, no, I like it. I will allow you to give me your choice of investigation or technology to see what you're able to dig up.
Okay. Oh, come on. Where's the this? Oh, so
Actually, I
screen.
think they're the same for you, but
I was looking to
your
see.
technology is better.
Yeah, robotics is better. But investigation feels more like what she's doing. She's not really
Okay.
like leaving little robots around on him. But she's also building like little communicators and things like to record sessions and discreetly from what's going on.
Okay.
Oh, that's awful.
More
Not doing great.
14. Got it.
I guess ugh.
So not only are you not able to find anything about, I mean, you can find plenty of Miles Sanchez's doing research, but you can't find anything about this Miles Sanchez. But you are able to realize that what you're able to find is that someone has been very carefully cleaning up to make sure that there are no records about this Miles Sanchez available.
Interesting. So she's just like, and because being a professor, she arrives at the tea room like a half an hour before she's supposed to.
Okay, so you arrive around 6:30?
Yeah, so she's got like her notes, like she's got like things all spread out and she's ordered tea and is because nobody's in there, she's not really paying attention and she's kind of letting it stir on its own and pouring milk and all of that into it.
Okay, so actually, interestingly enough, when you get there, you'll notice that the sign on the door for the bottom of the cup says that they close at 6.
I feel like she would know that and she would arrive probably closer to like 4:45 or 5:45 to make sure that she's in there before they close.
Okay. They will ask you, they will say, Carrie, we are closing up. We kind of need to ask you to leave because, we like to go home.
And she'll like awkwardly go, "Oh, okay." And she'll just like kind of sheepishly like wheel herself outside and
Okay.
kind of, but awkwardly like sit by the door. She's
All right.
like, "I'm supposed to be here," but like she was thinking it'd be like secret agent-y and they'd come out and give her like a code word and then she goes into the back but she has no idea what she's doing. So
So around 6, does anyone else arrive early?
I mean, I'm riding with Larry. That's up to Larry. Are we getting there early or not?
I mean, if
Two of us are musicians. I mean,
it's 6 o'clock,
What is
the church
time?
van rolls up to your house and Larry will let you in. However long it takes to get across town, we'll say
Riding in the church van.
that's absolutely it's an old Ford van, but it works. We'll pull up, say 6:40. We'll say 40 minutes to get there. That sounds reasonable. Find a nice little place to park, and Larry will hop out and open the door for Micah.
Okay.
Finding a place where you can fit the church van.
It's fine. It's not a bus. It's just the van.
Please don't bring the bus.
now tell me it's one of those like 15 passenger vans, the extra long ones.
So this is the small one we use for grocery shopping. It's it's like a Ford Metro van. Not too bad.
All right. What about Harper or Orphea? or D. I don't know which one's
I think-
coming.
He's probably going to be the one to show up.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, she's going to get there right on time because I'm assuming there is a tree nearby,
Yes.
and there's a tree right outside of D's apothecary. So,
Okay.
oh goodness, it's time to close up shop.
All right. So, yes, starting with Carrie. And what about Harper? Sorry.
Harper will roar in on her bike about 7 minutes late.
Okay. So, Professor Pembroke, you're there. You're kind of sheepishly waiting out front. And around 6:15, the last employee leaves and locks up and go and just kind of are you waiting for someone?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'll be fine. It's fine.
All right. Can I call you a car?
No, no, it's fine. No, it's fine.
I'll
Fine.
take things that are not fine for 100, Alex.
Uh-huh. All right.
But she knows her, so she's like, she knows that she just kind of lets things.
Yeah. Around 6:30, Special Agent Angelique Dufay and Miles Sanchez arrive along with 4 of the like I said, guys wearing suits that are not as well fitted, that are not doing a great job of hiding the firearms underneath their jackets.
So
And-
when she sees when Carrie sees the agents walk up, she's basically going to unchamber the weapon and put the safety on, just for protection.
Okay,
Oh, that's going to get him killed.
probably. All right. So the Angel and Miles just kind of notice you sitting by the door, and they go, "You're early." Well,
You said 7, but they close at 6, so I thought you meant 6, so I got here at 5:30.
we thought it would be better if you met here when there weren't people who. Yes, they close at 6, but we have special permission to be there after hours.
Okay.
All right, so she'll go ahead and gesture. They'll gesture you in. The 4 other agents stay by the door, while Angel and Miles go in. And you do see that there is actually one of the staff members from the store who stayed behind. It's not the owner. It's actually a woman you don't recognize. But she's there and greets you by the door and says, "Can I get you something to drink while we wait for the others?"
And she'll hold her travel cup that they had given her while she was leaving and say, can you just pour this into a proper cup and warm it up a little bit for me?
Of course.
Even really shouldn't microwave tea, but
And Aunt Puppy, I will put you on the map so you can go ahead and put yourself around the
A
table.
map, a map.
A map.
We can arrange ourselves a fireball formation.
I was gonna say she'll roll up towards where she towards Agent Sanchez, and she'll awkwardly kind of look at him like, is he gonna move the chair? And when he doesn't realize what he's not doing, she'll just move it out of the way, because she's like,
Okay.
at this point, I'm kind of gotta give up.
Okay. Then I guess at 6:40, Micah and Larry arrive, and yes, you find the bottom of the cup tea room, and standing outside are 4 government agents with, as I said, bulges under their jackets that are doing a very bad job of concealing a firearm.
Oh, well, isn't that just a warm welcome?
Are you sure you want to go and do this?
It'll be fine.
I know. Just stay close. I'll keep a lookout. So
It'll be
Park.
fine.
While you were waiting inside, Daffy, you'll notice that or not notice, but Agent Sanchez will happily start talking to you about the research that you've been doing in your papers, and you kind of get the idea that he is more of an academic than a government agent from his manner.
He doesn't want to do this.
She'll kind of relax a little bit more. She's still uncomfortable, but she will kind of ease into how she's talking to him, because she then starts to slowly, as she realizes he's more excited about her paper than her abilities, she becomes more and more excited to talk, and just kind of is starting to just regurgitate as much information at him as possible.
All right, so Larry and Micah, you guys approach the store. You will one of the agents will hold up a hand as you get within sight and say, there's a private function tonight. Can I help you?
Good evening, gentlemen. I believe we're invited on the guest list.
Your names?
Micah.
Lawrence Rain.
Okay. Consult. Go inside. When you get there, you will see Agent Sanchez and Agent Dufay. You've each met one of them. In addition, there is a woman in a wheelchair who, Micah, you do recognize. You've seen her at some of the shops in town, perusing some of the magic supplies and actually going for the books that mean something.
And so Carrie will notice kind of the vague recollection of who she is, and will kind of just like nod and do like a, the girl wave where you're like, hi,
Hey.
like I know you, like that kind of.
Yeah. Basically, same response as what Micah was gonna go with.
Hi.
Hey.
Like the 12-year-olds at a sleepover for the first time together, and you just kind of like, hi.
Hey.
The agents will greet you both by name and say, please take a seat. We're waiting on a few more.
I'm gonna sit by the person I know. Yippee. I'm not gonna actually go into. Okay, hold on. I need to shift stuff. How do you
I could get off the
make
table.
sure it works, right? No. I will be on the table and I'll be happy.
Fair.
Have a great time. Start a jam session.
Larry, with perhaps some nervous energy, will go by the chair, but just kind of stand behind it and just off Micah's shoulder a little bit. Obvious, slightly nervous and uncomfortable, but just being there and watching the agent a bit intently.
Okay. The employee will come out and ask if either of the two of you want anything to drink.
No, thank you. I'm quite well, Micah.
And
So Micah will order something, but I don't know my teas and my brain just died on me.
so Carrie will turn to both Micah and Lawrence, and will just be like, oh, you guys need to try the black, and she'll like go on with a recipe, like a British recipe of, you know, how to perfectly make a perfect cup of tea. Like, that's what you guys all need. And then she'll just kind of turn back to the conversation with Agent Sanchez, like just kind of moving on.
So she turns to you and says, Earl Grey, hot.
With milk.
I am
With milk
suddenly
and-
reminded of during the season of Stargirl that had the shade, and him going through all of the effort to teach the one woman in the cafe how to properly make a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Mm,
she'll even talk about like how it needs to be steeped with loose tea versus tea. Like she's like going through all that. She's like, but they don't have that here. And she'll like just keep going.
So she's a tea nerd, is what you're saying.
Anyway, Micah will order something. I just like a lavender tea. I don't know.
Okay. At 7:00, Dee steps out of the tree across the street. And again, same situation, Brandon. Dee will see the 4 agents standing outside.
wave to him as she's walking up to the door.
As she's walking up, they just look at their notes and they go, "Oh, you're on the list. Go on inside."
Thank you, dear.
And yeah, so you go inside, you see Agent DeFay, you see Micah Muse, who you recognize. And then there's also a priest, Larry, who you also recognize from some of the work that he's done and overlapping interests. And then there is a woman in a mechanized wheelchair.
Give a pleasant little wave to Larry. I go over to Micah and give them a hug.
Happily returns the hug.
And look over at the woman and kind of walk over to her and reach out my hand and say, "I'm Dee. Nice to meet you."
Oh, hi. I'm and then she kind of pauses for a second because she's trying to decide, does she want to be like, how snooty does she want to sound? And she'll be like, you can call me Carrie. And she'll just reach out her hand to shake her hand.
Nice to meet you, Carrie. And she'll have a seat.
All right. So right at 7, Agent DeFay keeps kind of glancing at her watch and saying, "I was expecting one more. I'd like to wait until she arrives. I can see that some of you already know each other. By all means, feel free to make other introductions. You've done so. I'd prefer to wait until we are certain whether or not the other person that we've invited will arrive." She kind of keeps glancing at the door. And then, yes, Harper, you arrive late. Roaring up on your Harley.
It's not a Harley. It's actually a more of a dirt bike.
Okay.
So it's a
All right.
I'll make
So
it.
we hear you?
Make it a 2-stroke, so it's.
Oh
really
yeah.
loud.
Just hear the noise down the street and just, is that them?
I was gonna say, like, I feel like the agent would be like looking at her watch and then like about to say, like, I wonder where she is, and you just hear
Yeah. And then, yes, that is very likely them.
Mm.
And yeah, then Harper arrives.
I will make it a little bit of an assessment as I walk up and see these 4 people as I'm walking up. Because I park my bike a little ways away because, you know, sometimes fights break out and
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
by a church van, you can park it.
it's actually, they're the same 4 agents who were with Agent DeFay last night. So they just kind of nod their heads and say, go on in.
I will look at the guy who like is closest to the door and go, check your weapon, dude. As I walk in.
All right. So you get in. I don't believe you actually would recognize any of the people who are here, other than the agent.
Well, the agent.
Yeah.
I will actually move myself sort of off in a corner, away from people. Just watch, listen. Anybody in here pinging my radar?
No. Well, yes, actually.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I think that someone in here would be pinging my radar.
And now, everyone, comes the moment when the heroes meet, and of course, they have to fight due to a misunderstanding.
So agents, Agent DeFay does say, Harper, will you join us?
I will walk over and stand there. And I
Opposite.
will. Yep. And my eyes will not leave the priest.
Okay.
I kind of shoot a look over and then say, pleasure to meet you.
Good evening.
Yep.
Well met.
I will get up. I'll walk over to her and extend a hand. Hi, I'm Dee. Nice to meet you.
Hi. Harper.
Okay.
Hi, Harper.
And I will.
I said, hi,
Oh,
Harper.
it came over as I Harper. Like
No.
Keep and talk. I
Hi,
Harper.
Tarzan.
You
Jane.
D.
Yeah, no.
All right. So Angel will just kind of speak up and say, so, I can see some of you know each other and you've made introductions. I'm glad that some of you already know each other. That will help convince you all that what we are doing here is on the level. You've all met either myself or Agent Sanchez. My name is Agent Angelique Dufay. Either earlier today or yesterday, we met with each of you, and when we met with you, we introduced ourselves as members of the Federal Bureau of Investigations. That part is not a lie. They are the ones who sign our paychecks, but it isn't the entire truth. In actuality, we are with Arcade, the American Research Center for the Arcane Defense of Earth. You may not realize it, but you have all done work for us in the past. Sometimes that has been very direct, such as when Dee's husband and Micah helped us on a field operation. Other times it has been through intermediaries, including work that both Professor Pembroke and Lawrence have done for us. And on occasion, we have worked with outside organizations to help us deal with issues. And she just kind of looks over to Harper. In short, the mission of Arcade is to keep tabs on all of the creepy crawlies who live in the dark and keep Mom and Pop America unaware of their existence while keeping them safe from such threats. Each of you have a vested interest in that goal as well. And recently, we at Arcade have had a change in situation that required that we bring you in, or at least try to bring you in as direct assets, which Agent Sanchez will explain. I suppose we can forego introductions since you all have done so already, unless there's anything you would like to share with everyone about your interests.
Dee just kind of scratches her beard and thinks for a second. No, I don't think so.
Carrie is holding the teacup that she brought to her, and you can all just kind of awkwardly hear it like clanking back and forth because she's very nervous.
Do you have just do you have tea in your teacup?
Yeah. So it's like you can hear like it's like kind of slipping around and like clanking around because she's like trying to keep it together, but like is not doing a very good job.
Very
Shall
well.
I start?
And look down on Micah and give their shoulder a kind of reassuring squeeze.
I can show something. And Micah will just pull out we'll go flute. Out of their pocket dimension, but to most people a tiny pocket. And just play what are my magic effects again? Sorry, I have to remember my character sheet. I don't know. I'm going with something fun. Can I just have like a little just like sparkles swirl around me?
Sure.
Yeah, just play a little tune, have a few sparkles swirl around.
Elliot
And then-
or Elliot.
Elliot!
Wrong character. Wrong character. Carrie will choke on her tea.
I'm assuming that's what this is. So
Yes. Say Agent Sanchez and myself already know all about you. It's simply a question of we thought it would be more polite to let you introduce yourselves rather than outing you to each other.
it is rather polite. I'm Micah, also known as Muse. And
You're
there's a
openly-
lot more to that.
You're openly using that title now.
It's more fun. There's a lot more honorifics apparently supposed to go with it, but I really don't feel like doing the tongue twister right now.
Understandable, but good for you.
Larry will give Micah's shoulder another squeeze. This one a little more firm, not painfully, but kind of a steadying himself before kind of nodding, and he'll move to
Micah
sit
will-
down.
Micah will move to pat his hand on their shoulder.
To which he'll nod, then look over and give her kind of a meaningful look. Before taking a moment, he'll unbutton the cuffs on his shirt, and when he rolls his sleeves down, it looks almost like tattoos, but script that winds down his forearms. And it's not English. Well, there is some, but other languages as well, other script typesets that wind all the way down. And as he stops for one, goes, I'm Lawrence, and I also can channel someone else or an ancient spirit of conflict known as Babel, or at least born of the old tales. And he'll kind of look again to Micah and nod before putting his hand down. And when he does, the script starts winding out along his hand, along his fingertips, up from his underneath his collar, along his face, and like the threads of a brush sucking up ink, his blonde hair starts turning to black and his eyes go jet black before he looks around with a smile and goes, and all things will be wonderfully painful, but with great effort has managed to keep his hand flat on the table.
I will pull out
Um,
the tablet and just kind of fidget with it.
When
Carrie has now spit taked her tea.
when when Larry said the name Babel, Dee's face went from one of kind of like a proud aunt kind of thing that Micah was deciding to come into their own, to just straight like what did you just say? And when the tattoos start growing, she's like scooting her chair back, just ready to completely throw down.
Babel.
Similarly, when that happens, Harper suddenly produces daggers out of like nowhere and tenses like a cat ready to pounce.
Relax.
Can Carrie read what it says on his arm?
Some of it.
Okay.
Give me an expertise magic.
Are you fucking kidding me? I swear to God.
Oof.
Oh, that'd be a 13.
Okay. Yeah,
The
you
two
don't.
things that I know how to do, and I can't do them well.
You're
Um,
fine.
I will also say, you've never known houseplants to look menacing, but you swear there's a threat in the eyes of those lilies.
Micah will then go, relax.
Babel seems amused somewhat with both the reaction of the other two who are backed up, but is just watching them grinning somewhat. And
He is containable.
No, it isn't.
Said you have a tablet?
Clearly.
Yeah, little clay tablet you said it was?
about
Just-
that big.
It's not
Yeah,
text.
just in their hand.
Okay. I was thinking tablet like you
No,
had, like,
not
a
sorry.
monitor. The reason being is
An
because
iPad.
I was going to try and hack into it. So
I'll turn the demon back by tapping him with the iPad.
yeah. Well, that's what I was like, I wanted to make sure.
No.
He's a big Apple guy. No.
No. Good night, go. D. Trust me.
It's okay, little pigs. You can have a seat.
That's
wolf's not going to
you.
bite.
And I will touch the tablet to him.
By the way, being a divine being that has the ability to read and speak all languages, what is written on all over Larry's body?
A fable. You will find the story or an interpretation thereof, at least the parts you can read and see about the Tower of Babel. And when Micah touches him with that, the ink drains away from him, and almost like it began, it recedes back. You see the script vanish from his flesh back under his collar. It pulls down his hands, but whereas his sleeve is unbuttoned, you see it does only go just as far as his wrist, and the text or the script remains. To which he'll take a breath and kind of steady himself, look back to Micah, and give a more sincere smile and a nod before pulling his sleeve back and buttoning it again. Thank
As
you.
I said, Babel is containable. I trust Larry. I don't know you that well, looking over at Harper, but then looking at D. But I can hope you can trust me enough to trust my judgment.
I can trust your judgment.
Mhm.
I can trust Larry. But I know Babel.
At least for now, as we search for a better way to deal with him. This has proven effective, holding up the tablet.
I know a better way.
What?
As I put away my knives.
He is our curse to deal with, but it is helpful. So
Until it isn't.
Well, you'd know about that, wouldn't you, Harper?
Sure would. And I kind of elbow the backpack I'm wearing. Just sort of reflexively.
Uh-huh.
Just Don't mistake under control for controllable.
Harper?
Yeah.
You, and only you, hear a chuckling coming.
I hate you. Shut up.
You're still so easy to wind up.
Harper, who are you talking to?
The duck. Continue. I just look at the agent and go, continue.
I feel like we were the ones leading this, to which I would like to ask what brings the rest of you all here? I know Larry and my abilities. If this is what this is about, I assume there are at least other talents to everyone. I know I've seen you at the stores I frequent, putting over at Carrie.
So
You
Carrie
just
has,
pulled.
Carrie has kind of like skewed herself back and is like moving slowly towards the door. She's
Okay.
like not about that life. Like she is like, this is terrifying. Like she is uncomfortable, but she's not leaving. But you'll notice that she put glasses on and she is kind of backed away from the table a little bit.
My apologies. That wasn't my intent to worry you, but by the same token, I wanted to come at this with some degree of honesty.
We
Mhm.
appreciate you putting your cards on the table.
Yeah, I do.
This meeting did not seem to be purely for academics, though
No.
some of you seem quite learned.
My talents are I
Yeah.
kill things.
Not
I'm real
necessarily
good at it.
learned, just old. And by the way, she looks like she's in her early 30s at most.
But it seems you all have some good intentions. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So I can
We
take some
wouldn't
heart in
ask
that.
anyone. We wouldn't have asked anyone here if we did not believe that you had an interest in preventing some of the nastier elements of the supernatural community from harming innocents.
And I imagine whatever concern you have is much more pressing than merely hopeful.
Quite. Agent Sanchez, do you want to take over? Sure thing, Angel. So he'll stand up and he'll say, so our mandate, Arcade's mandate, is fairly wide-ranging. We do a lot of research and investigation. We do some incarceration of certain supernatural threats, and when need be, we take care of elimination of high threat targets. Agent DeFay over there leads our investigative division. She commands 2 8-person teams of highly trained agents. You've met some of them already. But those are not to put too... Oh, stop dancing around it, Miles. My men are men. They are people. They are ordinary human beings. They are well trained, but they are not capable of standing up to some of the more dangerous things out there. That was Dutch's team. Right. So yes, our third... Huh?
Was Dutch's team?
Agent Sanchez just kind of goes, yeah. So our third team was headed up by a man named Leroy Dutch. Dutch has been working for Arcade since it formed in the aftermath of World War II. He was one of 4 survivors of the team who tried to stop the Nazi Operation Totenkopfstreich. Well, they did stop it, but there were only 4 survivors from that team. Those 4 men who survived all were changed in the aftermath of the mystical energy that came out. They became faster, stronger, longer lived. But as time went by, they started showing signs of being corrupted by those energies. The first one succumbed nearly 10 years after the formation of Arcade, which was back in the 40s. The second succumbed back in the 80s. And the third right around the turn of the millennium. In each case, the other survivors took down their fellows as they became corrupted. In terms of the first 2, Dutch tried to take down Anthony Miles, but he escaped and he is still at large. But we called you here because of Dutch. Dutch was investigating a vampire cult here in New Orleans. And after he started that investigation, he's become, well, not to put too fine of the point on it, because he was never the most gregarious of folks. And he's insubordinate. But he's never been outright defiant or unhelpful. And about a month ago, he stopped sharing information with either Agent Dufay or with our director, Director Vance. And then a week ago, Dutch and his team left our HQ in the middle of the night, taking all of their notes about the investigation with them. There were some things left behind, and members of my team were able to see visions that suggest that whatever Dutch was involved in was going to go poorly for humanity. Since Dutch left, agents of Arcade have been targeted by members of that vampire cult, to the point where no personnel travel alone or unarmed. Our belief is, and Agent Face speaks up, our belief is that Dutch and his team have gone rogue. He's finally succumbed to the same corruption that took out his friends. And he took his people who have been fanatically loyal to him, and they're now working with the cult. If he wasn't involved with it from the beginning, he very well could be the mastermind behind this cult. We need your help finding Dutch and his men and bringing them in. You look like you have questions.
Does this vampire cult actually have a vampire in it? Or are we talking about a bunch of fanboys?
Unclear. But the members of the cult definitely seem enhanced. We haven't been able... Dutch was the one doing the investigation, and since he left with all of his notes, our only interaction with the cult has been in finding bodies of coworkers and friends.
Do they have a targeted range selection?
Our headquarters is here in New Orleans.
What
Um,
would you ask? What would you? Excuse me. I need to use the restroom for a moment.
Of course.
Are there
Oh.
any cameras in this building?
No.
Watch them in the.
So she's going to, Carrie, when Dee says that she's going to leave to go to the restroom, Carrie is going to kind of release a nano camera to follow her. Obviously, she's going to not go into, if she does actually go into the bathroom, she's not going to follow her into the bathroom, but she's going to follow her as far as she is comfortable with following her.
So the bathrooms are just over here. Up to the north and to the east.
Okay. So she will go up and go into the bathroom.
And I need you to roll initiative.
Oh.
I need
Good.
the entire party to roll initiative. Because as Dee opens the door to the bathroom, there is a crash of glass, a scream coming from the kitchen, and the sound of a single gunshot from outside.
That's a great first roll, guys.
And yes, I need the party to roll initiative.
So
Oh,
as soon as Carrie hears that, she's basically going to kind of release all of her nanites cameras to kind of scatter.
All right, so want to tell me what everyone got?
No,
I got a 17.
I got an 8.
I beat a
10.
1 just.
Oh, I got a 15.
All right. And let me put my cultists on the map.
I mean, like, you don't have to.
Yeah, we're gonna talk it out. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sure, of course I will.
Yeah, I actually think vampires are pretty cool.
Huh?
I love the Twilight movies, right? The Lost Boys is my favorite.
All
and
right.
Frog Brothers.
So at the top of the round, the rushing out of the bathroom towards Dee before you actually get into the bathroom.
Well, I'm at the door, right? Because I'm opening. I just opened the door.
Right. I'm going to let you take a step back.
Yeah, I probably would do that.
As a vampiric looking creature comes rushing towards you. They don't do anything yet because they weren't really expecting to find someone right by the door. They were expecting to have to rush.
Blah, blah.
Yeah, there's a scream from the kitchen. And crashing in through the window, there's a cultist there. And then we are up to Dee.
So I'm looking around them at the mirror. Do they cast reflections?
They do, in fact.
Okay. I'll catch myself in the mirror and say, sorry, sweetie, I think you're gonna have to sit this one out. And then
Oh, wait, hold on a second. I need to give the camera a token. Because they can't see the map.
Not the map.
So
Oh,
our,
no.
our audience would see a blank. Hold on one second.
They see only darkness, this twisting void that is this world. You've looked upon the seedy side of life and found it. Welcome to Salting in the Dark. I'm just stalling till we get the token for the camera.
I appreciate that.
I feel like Daphne's just kind of sitting there like trying to maneuver different like things that she has on her person in front of her. Because really the only weapon she has is pepper spray.
I mean, you've got lots of things you can throw.
Right, but like true weapons, that is her only true weapon.
Okay. So
Ever been
there
hit by
is
a metal thermos? It hurts.
okay. Streamer should have a camera now. All right, so yes, sorry. Back to D.
I mean, there is a plant right there that they're practically on top of.
Sure is.
That seems perfect. We're just gonna that plant's gonna get suddenly a whole lot bigger and start wrapping right around them
Okay.
as we figure out how to. Where is it? Where is it? Because I haven't done this before in a while. There it is. So we do a little grasping vines. That will be a
Nat 20.
dodge save DC 19.
Okay, right, because it's perception range, so.
Yep.
They get a 7, so they are immobile and defenseless.
And that's when the thorns come in.
Are the thorns reacting or are they linked?
They are linked.
Okay.
Now, that's a lower, that's only a DC 18 toughness save, but still
Yeah,
enough to make them regret their life choices, maybe.
But that is a 20 on the toughness save.
Yeah.
So they are immobile and defenseless, but the thorns don't seem to be able to quite penetrate their unnaturally tough skin.
Yeah. I don't think it's an attack, or at least it's not intended to be an attack roll. It just happens linked with the vines.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you click on an attack power, it automatically throws in a roll there. So
yeah.
So yeah, don't worry about.
Yeah, because it's a perception range anyway, so there'd be no attack roll. So
Right.
that natural 20 was for nothing.
Sorry.
2 of them.
And then,
Two natural 20s.
yeah, 2 natural 20s for nothing. And I'm gonna go ahead and back up next to the camera that isn't there.
Technically, it's not actually natural 20s.
We've got visitors.
It just rolls, so it's just 20. There's no roll there.
No, it rolled. It rolled a d20 and got a 20.
Both times.
It just looks different from like when you hover over it. It looks different than when it actually rolls.
Don't worry about it. Anyways,
Yep. Immobile and defenseless and clogging up the doorway, and I'm backing up, and that's my turn.
all right. D, you're right by the door. You can hear a muffled scream.
Oh goodness. Which door?
Directly to the south of you on the other side of the camera person.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Like the door we entered through?
Yep.
Okay.
I have used up all my movement, so I am just gonna say someone is in big trouble behind the door.
Well, that was on the initiative after you. So
Oh, okay.
From the kitchen, you guys hear another scream that is cut short.
Oof.
Daffy.
So what can my cameras see right now?
The camera that was following D.
So I basically, as soon as I saw it happen, I dispersed 4 cameras.
Okay. If you send a camera outside,
Which I did.
you will be able to see, well, a group of 3 of these vampiric creatures feeding on the 4 agents who are outside. All 4 of the agents are holding weapons, but there was only a single gunshot.
So one person checked their weapon.
No one else did. You have a camera in the kitchen that will show that the proprietress, the one who is serving you tea, has been attacked by another creature that is burst out of the employee bathroom. And then you can see a creature right back by the bathroom that Dee was about to go into. So it's a target-rich environment.
It is. I forget, did we set it up to where all I have to do is be able to see what I'm doing? I just have to be able to see the thing, right? That I can move.
Yep.
Okay. She's going to attempt to, so basically my thought is that she's going to break off the legs of the chairs to make them stakes, and is basically going to aim them at whomever she can.
When I see that, can I say real quick, they have reflections?
You can say that, but
They'll still get hurt
not
if you
before
stab them.
Yeah.
Be surprised how many things that'll kill.
Yeah. So I will say that you can definitely attempt to stake the immobilized and defenseless one and the one that just burst in through the glass.
Okay, so but because I don't have line of sight of the other ones, just camera sight, I can't shoot.
Well, it's more that your power works as a burst, so you've only got so much range that you can affect at the same time.
Okay.
But you can definitely attack the 2 that are in the room with you.
Okay. So yeah, so basically she broke off all the chair legs, obviously, that people weren't sitting in.
Yep.
Although really that wouldn't matter, she could keep them hovering. But
Well,
she
that's
breaks
true.
all of the table legs and shoots the 2 at the ones that she can hit.
Okay. So that is just a toughness 23, DC 23 toughness save for the 2 vampires in this room.
Which am I rolling?
You don't actually have to roll anything because it's perception range. I just need to know what the DC of the toughness is.
How do I figure that out?
It should say in the attack.
Like up in the attacks? Throwing
Yeah.
object DC 23.
Yeah. Okay. I thought so because it's a rank 8 power. So, all
Like the
right.
only thing I can do.
So the one who is bound by the plant, which doesn't actually change his toughness. And since it's perception range, ruining his dodge and parry didn't make a huge difference, but he gets a 7 on his toughness save, so he's not in the fight anymore as you stake him.
My thought is that it's kind of like it's almost like she sends both of them with the intention of them being able to go through the first one into the second one.
And then the other one, the one who burst in through the window, doesn't do much better with a 9. So yeah, you stake both of the vampires in this room, and they fall to the ground. If they're not dead yet, they're definitely incapacitated.
Okay. She's also going to have kind of gently taken the door off of its hinges so that she can get outside faster.
Okay.
To help the agents. She assumes that people can take care of people inside.
Sure.
She feels guilty that she probably is who hindered the agents from being able to react.
She should.
Yeah, she definitely should.
Oh, getting him killed.
Yeah.
Another vampire bursts out through the window, or in through the window that the first one did, and is going to take a bite at Miles. But that is a 7, so that was for a natural 1, so that'll miss. The other one will leap in and will get up to Harper, but had to double move, so he can't actually attack. Hey, Harper, there's a
Yeah.
vampire right up in your face.
There sure is.
You're so
I'm
creepy.
going to do a little dance around him so
Make a
that I'm
little,
between the two. No, not the vampires. So that I'm
Yeah.
between the two of them.
She does not.
And-
She does not make love to vampires.
The one who decided to get up in my face.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna try to knock his teeth out. I am going to do 5 points all out and 5 points power.
Okay. Sure.
And are these minions?
They sure are.
Okay, cool. Are you kidding me? No, unacceptable.
You have 2 hero points.
Do I?
I gave you 1.
Okay. Take one of my hero points then, because that is absolutely unacceptable.
Okay.
That is a 25 to hit.
That is more than adequate. And with power attack, that's 5 points of power.
Uh-huh.
Were you including the +5 from the all out? Oh
Well,
no, because
with the
power
power attack, it makes-
and power attack. Got it.
It
Um,
just flattens that.
So he can't make a DC 28 toughness save.
Cool. Since they're minions, I'm gonna hope that 18 is high enough and take out his friend too.
18 is high enough, and yeah, again, still can't make a 28. So tell us how you dispatch these 2 vampires.
So it jumps through the window
Mhm.
and she sort of spins out of its way.
Uh-huh.
And as she's spinning, she just throws out both of her arms as if she's trying to clothesline, like double clothesline, and
Mhm.
just hits them so hard their heads come off.
Okay. That's horrendous.
Yes. Hey, move by. She's going to continue and burst through the window
Okay.
back outside.
Okay.
So let's see. Oh, and yeah, get right up in these folks' faces and then stop.
I mean, you have takedown. You don't have to stop, do you?
Actually, she does. She only has
I do.
takedown
I
1,
only have one.
so she doesn't get to keep moving as she takes down.
Yep. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Muse.
Okay.
There's 4 dead vampires in this room. There's some
Yeah.
screaming coming from the kitchen. And the hunter killer just went back through the window out into the hallway, or out
I
into the
basically turned into a tornado of limbs and went back outside.
Gonna use quick draw to pull out a loot.
You had a flute already out.
I'd put it away,
Okay.
and I'd rather prefer being able to talk right now.
Okay.
I have Shadow Step.
You have what?
Shadow Step. Actually, how far is the kitchen? And is the door open?
The door is open. Yeah. It's right
Cool.
here.
I'm just gonna fly in there.
All right,
Okay,
so
60.
yeah, you can easily move into the kitchen.
Back.
Just go move.
There's like dead people through the walls. Okay. That's not good.
Yep. There's a vampire who has torn out the throat of the proprietress.
Well, I'm not saving her.
Probably not.
Harper has come to learn that if a scream gets cut off, there's nothing to save.
Yeah. I could hope.
I mean, you've got magical healing.
I've got magical healing to a point. A missing throat.
Fair.
Just heal faster. You got this.
I think I'd rather just hit him with the elemental blast.
That makes sense.
Where is that? There it is. That's a horrible roll.
That sure is. Are you
I'd
happy with
kind
the
of
13?
rather. What?
Are you happy with the 13?
No.
Okay. You want to hear
Take
it
a
point?
hero point. Yeah. I'm just gonna let you steal it from me. It's easier.
Okay.
Take 2.
Yeah, you got a second. Okay.
Well, that was an 8 rolled, so that's technically a 26.
It is a 26. That is more than adequate.
DC 25.
Okay. He can make that.
Well, he shouldn't.
He did not. That is a 14.
Didn't.
What type of elemental blast is it?
When in doubt, choose fire.
I was gonna say fire.
I mean, it's a vampire. Fire
It's a
does.
vampire. It'll burn.
So tell us what happens as you air fry this vampire.
I think you just gave it a very colorful description I wouldn't have thought of, which was air frying a vampire.
Okay.
Just, I mean, they use they have to play, so they actually have to start playing the minute they started flying.
Right.
Because it kind of was just a platform under them that just kind of carried them.
Yep.
And then just kind of and just a quick little strum of notes and blast of fire.
Okay.
I can just see it like turned, just like starts at the bottom and just comes billowing around, and they just turn to ash.
The one of the other ones in the bathroom is going to come out and kick his buddy's friend to the side. But he does not have move by attack, so that is his entire turn. Blood Cultist 8 is the one who is directly in front of Harper and who just had his meal interrupted. He's going to all out attack and power attack.
Where's Harper?
Outside.
I went outside through
Oh,
the
I
window.
I can't see you anymore.
And that is an 8, so he will miss. I assume that even with all out attack, even with your down 5, an 8 probably still doesn't hit.
Yeah, it still misses.
Okay. So that's his turn. Angel is going to quick draw a pistol from her jacket. Is going to walk over here to the where she just heard a vampire snarling and empty some bullets into it. Or at least attempt to. 23. That will hit. I don't know why it didn't show the toughness save difficulty, but the vampire will attempt to make a toughness save and will fail. So yeah, Angel comes out and plugs a couple of bullets into that vampire and it will fall down dead. Miles is going to scramble away from the vampire corpse between Daffy and Larry.
Yeah.
And the third vampire is going to come out of the bathroom climbing over the corpse of his buddy. There were 3 of them in the bathroom.
Just hanging out.
It
in
didn't
the
go well for them.
Bathroom. like you
Larry,
do.
you're up.
Trying to figure out the joke. 3 vampires walk into a bar bathroom.
Yeah.
Larry's gonna run over and clumsily throw a punch at this thing
Okay.
because he's, yep,
Because he's Larry right now.
because he's Larry.
Oh. Oh, unfortunate. Larry, a 10 is going to miss, said vampire.
I did
I mean,
feel
you
I
could have
used
at
the
least you could have at least asked for a steak.
yeah, but I wasn't hungry. And I did say clumsily, so
You did.
comes running over and just throws a wild haymaker that absolutely misses. But
Yep.
steps in front of the slavering beast.
That was
Uh,
great of you.
Get back.
Get back.
You just hear a giggle come from Carrie.
Let's see. Blood cultist number 7 is going to scramble past his friends, leaping over Harper.
Man, Harper's doing some cool shit no one can see.
Sounds impressive.
I know.
Like a motorcycle tearing through a quiet street.
They actually have tons of movement, so he's going to come inside, see a woman in a wheelchair, and go, well, she's clearly defenseless. And he is going to attempt to bite Carrie. Ah, fuck me. I don't
feel
think
like Carrie's just like, no.
I don't think an
no.
8 hits Carrie.
Well, I don't know. What is so it's plus 10?
10 plus your parry.
It's a 12, and so it does not hit me.
Okay.
I gave her like the lowest parry because I figure like she's not really gonna be able to quickly get out of the way.
With share leg in its mouth.
There was initiative for a bunch of dead vampires, so they don't get to act. D, you're up.
That plant is going to release the dead vampire and grapple up the one that's now standing right on top of it like a fool.
Okay.
It's like he didn't even see what happened to his friend.
He gets a 21 on his save.
Oh,
Okay.
what
Not gonna do anything else. Did anybody go into the kitchen? I think someone did, but
Muse flew into the kitchen.
yeah, I'm going to then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Vanessa Carlton my way to the kitchen.
Okay.
Where is the door to the kitchen? Like, what's this
Right.
yellow thing? I guess is the question. I mean,
That's just a step.
okay.
A step down.
All right. Then yeah, I'm going to hang out there. I've got eyes on them. So at the very
Right.
least, if he goes down, I know.
Blood cultist 6 is going to leap over his friend and Harper and try to donkey kick Harper in the back of the head.
That's some cray shit going on outside.
Disrespectful.
To be fair, it's all on camera. Daffy is videoing everything that's happening.
I just realized that this stream camera couldn't see what was happening outside either.
Bad ghost.
Go exploring, stream camera.
All right. So yes, will a 21 hit Harper?
It sure will.
Okay. Fortunately for you, his unarmed is not nearly as damaging as his teeth and claws, so that is the DC 19.
I'll give you a 19.
Okay, so he kicks you, but you're able to just kind of roll with it, and it doesn't harm you at all. Daffy.
So after the one that tried to attack her, she kind of is just like, ew, because he just kind of gummed her. Ugh. Oh, so gross. So she's gonna do exactly what she did before. She's going to target and burst the other legs of the chair to the two demons across, the one that's in front of Larry and then the one that just bit her.
Okay. And that's again perception range, so they'll just make a DC 23 toughness save.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the one close to you gets a 17. The one next to Larry gets a 7. So they both die. Would you like to describe it?
So basically, similar to the other ones, she just kind of she shakes off the drool that the other demon or the other vampire left on her, and just said, "Oh, gross," and just kind of disperses the stakes again, aiming specifically at the one that tried to bite her. She it basically just kind of goes in like halfway into his chest, whereas the other one, it just blows a hole right through him.
All
and just
right.
kind of like pierces the wall behind it.
Harper, there are two vampires left, and they're both right in front of you.
Uh-huh. We're going to all out and power again. We will start with the one who just kicked me in the head because rude. 1828.
Yeah. 18 will hit. He can't make a 28. So if you're all outing and power attacking, then yeah, you'll take the boat down. Describe it.
So so she kind of turns with the kick and looks at it and goes, hold on, let me show you how to donkey kick. And then she just from straight standing just leaps into the air and just donkey kicks him right in the freaking mouth. And then lands and turns to his friend and goes, did you also need a demo? Bam!
Okay. We can drop out of combat then, because there are no more living vampires.
To begin with.
How are the guys out here doing?
Two of them are unmistakably dead.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry about that. I did blow holes in their chests.
No, I think Harper meant the agents.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
The other two can probably survive if they get immediate medical attention.
I will yell in the now open door because someone said that they took the door off the hinges.
I
I
did.
did. She gently took it off the hinges and gently set it down because she didn't want to ruin the facade of the building.
Yes. We need medical out here. And a non-demonic priest.
Bring
What
them
do I
inside.
know? What do
So,
I know about keeping vampiric victims dead?
So Carrie, when she hears Harper yell that they need medical, she basically will take pieces of chairs and things around her and will kind of make like a makeshift, like what are those things called? You know,
Gurney?
like a thing that does a
Gurney?
thing with the people.
A gurney?
Yeah, thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah, so she just like kind of like scoots it underneath of them to kind of scoop them up.
Okay.
I'll come over, and I have some healing magic. I ain't magic, but I mean, like, I ain't Morganite, but I do got healing.
Bring them
Alright.
inside, and Larry
Yep.
will go out to help get all the bodies inside, because vampire or not, bodies on the street seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Oh, can Carrie move the vampire bodies?
I
'Cause
mean,
tech-
once
Aren't
they're
they organic?
Oh, that's right. It was organic. It wasn't. I was thinking I picked living.
I thought you did pick living because
Yeah, because otherwise you couldn't make the stakes.
right.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Yeah, it was, yeah, living or, yeah. So like I can't move plants, but I could move
That
the
are still
vase that the
alive,
plant is
but-
in. Yeah. So I want, interesting. I'm not gonna try it because she doesn't know if she can. That'll be experiments for later.
Yep. All right. So you can pull the bodies in. If nothing else, to make sure that nobody, no passerbys on the street see anything.
Yeah, the next step is
Um,
putting up curtains.
Agent DeFay is like, all right, you do your thing. See if you can save them.
Might as well just start playing to try.
I am now going to go into the bathroom.
Okay.
Finish what you started.
Has a camera followed me into the bathroom?
So it basically, once you opened the door and they all came out, the camera kind of just was left at the entrance of the door because she then perceived that you were actually going to use the bathroom. So she's like,
Okay.
I'm not going to invade privacy.
I go in, and then I open the door, and Orfeo will go out to the front. And that change real quick. And look to see if there's anybody outside, any people, any passersby.
No.
Okay. Then we'll come
This
back.
is far enough off the beaten path and off of outside of, it's the hours that they're open, that there were not a lot of people out on this area of the street at the time of the attack.
Okay. I always miss the fun parts.
So yes, Agent DeFay speaks in, pulls out a her phone and says, "We need containment, disposal." Rattles off the address, and then put something on Director Vance's calendar that I'm going to be bringing in some people to meet with her in a very short order. And she'll then look at all of you and say, "You see what we're up against. Can we count on you?"
Yeah.
I guess I'll come back in.
I assume you followed the corpses in.
Yeah.
Corpses.
I
Well,
feel like Carrie kind of threw up a little bit and then kind of just gives like an awkward like thumbs up.
We'll go over to the table, grab a napkin.
Yeah, she's just kind of like, like
Larry will look to Micah and follow their lead.
all right.
Well, with dusk down, your orders are as good as anybody's.
And when she says that, Orfeo looks at her and goes, and kind of with a, what?
All right.
Who the hell are you?
And
Okay.
we will see what happens next week. So thank you all for watching and for being here for our first episode of Something in the Dark. I love our characters. I think they're a lot of fun. We will go around and let everyone make their goodbyes and plug anything they want to plug. In the meantime, make sure to come back here tomorrow night for the Freedom League Dark season finale.
Mid-season finale, isn't it?
Mid-season finale, sorry, yes. We will have something up on the blog on Thursday, probably the character sheets for our new recruits to Arcade. If not our character art, which hopefully we'll get. Friday, there will be a new episode of Heroes of Tomorrow on the pod. And then, yeah, we'll be back here next week at this time. So, guys, make your goodbyes. We'll kick it off with Brandon.
Well, this is going to be a stupid amount of fun. And trauma. I'm already kind of cringing at the fact that, there are many dead people that we were not able to save. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a change of pace and a lot of fun. So with that, just remember to be kind, especially to yourself. And Puppy?
I don't really have anything to plug. Join us if you are on Patreon. There we'll be starting oh god, I never pronounce it correctly. So NaNoWrimo.
NaNoWrimo.
USC.
I look at it and all I see is Frog of Rock, like Nanamana. And that's all I see. No, it's not right, but that's what I see every time. We'll be starting that in November. I don't really know what all that's going to be entailed, but I will be involved. So you will get to learn a little bit more about this character that I've weirdly become very attached to very quickly. So you'll get to learn a little bit of a backstory of her if you follow along there. So that's really all I have. So I will pass it to Deuce.
Howdy, everybody. Thank you for watching. However you do, if you watched live, thank you so much. We appreciate you chatting with us, making it a little more interesting, and commenting our shenanigans. If you're watching it on the VOD after the fact, that's awesome too. Join us whenever you can, but we appreciate it nonetheless. Also, thank you to the good people at Norse Foundry. They're wonderful products. Don't forget our code, USP Norse. Save yourself some money. Buy them for your DM because they roll great for you and they suck for your GM. Trust me, it works every time. Just ask Aaron. But again, thank you so much. And as is always important, I want you to remember, play a game however you can, especially the wonderful Mutants of Masterminds, but never, ever start playing a speedster. They're not good people. And with that, we'll go to Wiki.
Well, after that vote of confidence, I got nothing. Thanks for watching. Listen to the podcast. Jemmy.
Hi. Thanks for watching. Sorry I was late. I am very excited about this word just failed me series. I will still be late next video. But very excited to play another new character. And I feel like being spiteful, so go play a speedster. Sorry.
You and me.
I'm sorry. Gotta be a little hater at times. No, take care of yourself. Do something makes you happy. Be nice. We don't have the normal person to remind it like we did last time in the other stories, so take your meds if you have any. We all love you. Father.
That is it for us at the Untold Stories Project. And make sure that you're careful and you don't run into something in the dark. Bye.